This program is brought to you by Dunlop Tires, Autosportinsurance.com and Praga New Generation. Hello and welcome at the circuit of Zolder in Belgium for the first championship round of the Supercar Challenge. Most racing series are struggling to survive, but the economic crisis seems to have no or little effect on this very popular GT and touring car series. The starting grid is bigger than ever with the fastest GT cars available, like the Chevrolet Corvette GT1, the Ferrari 458, the Porsche GT3 and many, many more. In this episode we'll kick off with Saturday's race of the SuperGT and the GT class. But of course we'll show you the complete racing weekend, including the Supersport and Sport divisions, with fast touring cars from Seat, Lotus, BMW, Ford and Seiko. The Supercar Challenge is starting its 12th racing season in a row, and this makes it one of the most successful racing series available. The season of 2012 is already a very special one. We have a record number of entries, with a lot of competitors from Holland and Belgium. This means that there will be a great international battle on the track, but that is no different from any other series. So what makes this series so special? The reason we're attracting so many teams is that we like to keep things simple and fun. Of course we have strict rules about safety and technical regulations, but we also try to focus on the fun of driving without limitations. This created a great atmosphere amongst the drivers. The battle on the track is fierce, but when the race is over, we aim to keep everybody satisfied. And that's exactly what people appreciate in the Supercar Challenge. So let's meet some of the drivers and their cars in the Supercar Challenge. This year the Mad and Daring racing team has entered 3 Corvettes, and they leave nothing to chance, as they have invited SuperGT champion Diederik Seithoff to join their team.
Ik ben overgestapt van auto. Ik reed vorig jaar in die Viper.
Yeah, I changed cars last year with a Viper, and there was a lot of fuss about that the Viper was too fast. During the winter we overhauled the car, made it even faster, and then my dad said, well, maybe you have to change to a slower car. Slower, yeah, right. Together with co-driver Rick Abresh, he claims pole position for the first race and the first point for the championship.
Nou, als je goed naar de zijkant kijkt, als je
well, if you focus on the side of our car, you see the number 01, and we'd like to keep it that way. That's exactly what we need to do. Be number 1. Winning the championship will not be easy this year, as the competition is not sleeping either. Barry van Elk took second place in qualification with a Praga.
Ja, ik was er zelf ook van verrast. We waren natuurlijk gisteren voor het eerst met deze
auto. I was surprised as well. Last year we had a lot of problems with this car, and yesterday we were fastest all the time. So in qualifying we decided not to do too many laps, and it was pretty heavy as well because I don't have power steering. So I came in and I thought the job was done. We had pole. And I decided not to drive anymore, but then Diederik Seithoff surprised us as well when he was just a tiny bit faster. This year, 5 Dodge Vipers have entered in the Supercar Challenge, including the championship winning car of last year, the E-Tech Viper GT2 driven by Robert de Graaf and Philip Ribbons.
In 2007 zijn wij met deze auto begonnen. Sinds die tijd is er heel veel aan de auto gedaan, heel veel ontwikkeling.
In 2007 we started with this car and there was a lot of development on the car. 2009 we were in this car for the last time and now we have it back and it feels good.
Heel veel zin in.
De verwachtingen zijn hoog gespannen, want Diederik heeft afgelopen jaar natuurlijk...
Philip Ribbons says we have a lot of expectations for this car, for this year as well. We want to achieve. Last year I didn't drive at all, and now I'm back in the race and back in this car. So it really feels good as well. Feels like home. Yeah, we'll do what we always do, finish races and score as many points as possible. And at the end, we will see where we are. Ferraris all over the place in the Supercar Challenge. The Dutch Vika racing team has entered 3 Ferraris this year, including the last generation 458 GT2 driven by Peter Versluis. We speak with his brother. Yeah, my name is Jan Versluis. I'm co-team owner together with Peter Versluis. We've done it a couple of years, and it's my second year in the Ferrari 430, and it's going better every time. Peter drives the 458 this year, and he will share with Jelmer Buurman, and the third car will be driven by our 2 Belgian drivers, Frans Lamotte and Bert Langin.
Ja, het is een lang seizoen, hè, want het zijn 9 races en telkens in een weekend 2 races. Het is ook op...
Well, it's a long season, says Bert Langin. It's every weekend 2 races, 9 races in total, races in Belgium and in Holland and Zandvoort. I think it will be a championship that will be very exciting, but a lot of competitiveness as well. If you see what the Vega team brings out here, I think it will be a fantastic season. And besides the very popular Super GT class, also the GT class competes in the Supercar Challenge. You would expect that the fast Porsches, Aston Martins and Silhouette cars would take pole position, but fastest in qualifying was the little orange car that could, the Lotus driven by Jan van der Kooi.
Ja, een stap omhoog. We hebben de auto doorontwikkeld.
Yeah, we start this year in GT class. Last year was very successful, but you can do 2 things. You can sit there and take it easy, or you can accept the challenge, improve the technique and the technology, and move up. And that's what we did. So it's time to go racing. And here we are with the grid. Pole position for Diederik Seithoff in the Corvette. Barry Van Elk in the Praga in 2nd place. First race, Saturday, first race of the race weekend. Everybody is a little bit jittery after the long winter. Waiting for the lights, and they're off. And it's almost 3 abreast going for the first corner. Best position on the inside for Diederik Seithoff, or is it a Praga? It's Norkohler breaking up in the C5R Corvette, and it's the orange Lotus Exige in first place in the GT class. Barry Van Elk chasing Diederik Seithoff. A little bit of weaving there, finding position to take this corner, maybe outbraking on the inside. No, everybody stays in line. Corvette thundering, the little Praga, hoping for a mistake by Diederik Seithoff, which doesn't come. In 3rd place, Philip Ribbons. In 4th place now is Norkohler in the red and white Corvette. Jan Versluis leading the 3 Ferraris, but it's Jelmer Buurman in the 458 pairing up with Peter Versluis, who is absent this first race because he had other racing duties. Jelmer Buurman goes to 7th place, and problems for Barry Van Elk. The Praga comes to a halt. Not a good start.
De start ging volgens mij wel goed. Ik zat er heel goed bij.
Well, he said the start was okay. But before the first lap was over, the fuel pressure gauge dropped to 0. So something is wrong there. And we decided to park the car. That's too bad. First race for Barry Van Elk is over. Jelmer Buurman, however, goes very strongly. The 458 running like clockwork. He's now in 5th place. And a few laps later, he's intimidating Diederik Seithoff in the Corvette. Looking for a mistake. Diederik using all the power the Corvette has to keep the 458 behind him, but It seems to be like he is under pressure because he's locking up, under braking. Jelmer Buurman looking left, looking right, and now he's got him. And a big lock up by Diederik Zuidhof. What has happened? Well, a flat tire. Has to come in, change the wheel, and no, he's not. Yes, he is. He's off. Well, sort of. Yeah, that's a flat. Too much pressure by the Ferrari. In the GT division, it's now Kees Krijne in the Aston Martin in first place. So where is the little Lotus that could? Well, it couldn't because he's in the pits.
Nou, een heel goede start. Ik had 11
We had a great start, and then I started to feel some unbalance in the back of the car. So something was definitely wrong. It turns out that it's one of the engine mounts that is broken. So we're stopping to avoid further damage. Quite a lot silhouette cars in the Supercar Challenge this year, like the BMWs, but also the Mazda 3. In second place now, Werner van Herk from Belgium. But it's Henk Thuis making a do or die, going into the chicane and taking second place. Fight for fifth place. Frank Thiers in the Ferrari, Danny Workman in the Corvette, and Bert Longin from Belgium in the third Veka Ferrari. Shows how competitive the Supercar Challenge has become. Oh, what a mistake there by Bert Longin. Absolutely uncalled for, and of course out of character for the very experienced Belgian driver. Something seems to be wrong with the Ferrari. There's a few laps later this happens, and he nearly takes out Alex van 't Hoff. Very nearly. So he comes in. Yeah, it seems to be a brake balance problem. He's all over the place, he says. And all over the place, but not in a good way, is this E-Tech Viper as well. Robert de Graaf under braking and hitting the tire wall with the backside of the Viper.
Bijna aan het einde bij de kanaalbocht wil ik de rem intrappen.
Yeah, almost at the end of the canal corner we had a problem with the brakes. So we have to find out. It's very scary that you find out that there's nobody home when you apply the brakes. So luckily there was a gravel trap with enough gravel to stop us. We could finish, we ended up 10th or something, so all's not lost. So, a good win by Jelmer Buurman in the 458, driving instead of Pieter Versluis.
Rijdt dit weekend natuurlijk ook GT1, vandaar ook de andere over.
Yeah, I drive GT1 as well this weekend. I had great fun in this race. And Peter did the qualification, and I have to thank him because he gave me a great car to finish this race and win it. Thank you, Peter. Jelmer Buurman wins the first race on Saturday. Alex van 't Hoff in second place, and Rikke Bresch driving with Diederik Zuidhof in third. And a great comeback win for Kees Krijne, who's back in the championship and celebrates this with a victory.
Wat een weg om het seizoen te starten, hè? Helemaal goed.
What a way to start the championship, to start the season. I'm so happy. This couldn't be better. I want more. Kees Krijne wins in the Aston Martin Vantage. Henk Thuis and Pim van Riet finish up in second place. And Werner van Herk in the Mazda Silhouette in third. After the break, we'll be back with the Supersport and Sports division in the new Supercar Challenge 2012. This program is brought to you by Dunlop Tires, Autosportinsurance.com and Praga New Generation. Welcome back, you're watching Motors Television and this is the Supercar Challenge 2012, the first race of the season coming from Zolder circuit in Belgium. A lot of competition this year in the Supersport and Sports division, champions in the Supersport last year. Of course, Robin and Ferry Monster with the Seat Leon Supercopa, but it won't be easy this year.
Ja, dit is een groot veld. Concurrentie.
Yeah, lots of cars this year, so we really have to fight for it. But it's exciting. It's good to have competition. Well, I think you shouldn't change a winning team, so we won't change anything this year. We'll just try to finish races and take as many points as possible. And that's, of course, what everybody wants to do. Also, Bob Herber now this year in a BMW Z4.
Ja, totaal nieuwe auto, BMW Z4.
Great car, new car, BMW Z4. We should be able to take the championship with this car. If it doesn't work, it's not the car, but us. Of course, this year the Sports 1 division with a lot of different cars, like this one, the Silhouette Ford Focus.
Het is denk ik een hele mooie raceauto, heeft een heel mooi racekarakter.
I think it's a beautiful car. It's a real racing car with a tubular frame, very well balanced. But we have a Ford engine, of course, but we have a lot of other components like a rear axle from BMW. And then, of course, a Sports 2 with not too many competitors this year. Rob Neiman is one of the most prominent ones with a Renault Clio. Yeah, this year we have our own class. That means that we can be very competitive amongst each other. It's basically a 4-cylinder class, opposed to the BMWs in the Sport 1. We like to welcome some more competitors. I have understood that there are some BMWs and Clios coming, so it should be very competitive this year. So, time to go racing, Supersport and Sports divisions. We're on board with Art Bosman looking through the windscreen at the front rows. It's Peter van Zulen starting from pole position with the BMW M3 GTR. Ferry Monster next to him on the outside of the corner. Luc de Kok is there from Belgium in the Lotus 211 and a bad start by Ferry Monster. Loses 1 or 2 places already. Peter van Zulen, Daan Meijer in the Porsche, and Peter Hoevenaars, who's there already. I'm a bit surprised because he started 10th and he's already in 4th place. He's 17 years old. Yes, 17 years old and he's already in 4th place in 1 corner. Fantastic. There's Bob Herber in the BMW Z4. A new team there as well. It's a PS Motorsport team coming from the Dutch GT4 division, making the switch to the Supercar Challenge. Lotus 211, Luc de Kok trying everything to keep the young talent behind him in the BMW 1 Series. That's Peter Hoevenaars. We're watching from the windscreen of Ferry Monster in the Seat, budging up his start and already been overtaken by the Z4 as well. And unable to follow the BMWs. We're on board with Art Bosman, Lotus Exige, and it's Dick van der Donk looking up in a big way and hitting one of the PS Motorsport cars. Some damage there on the rear side of the BMW E90 GT4. Peter van Zulen in the E46 in first place. To together driving with Koen Bogaerts this year, and Luc de Kock is having all sorts of problems. He can't keep Peter Hoevenaars behind him, so Hoevenaars is now in 3rd place. Or is he? Because he's now in 2nd place, opening up a gap already to Daan Meijer in the Porsche and looking for the rear side of Peter van Zoelen's BMW. And there's Bob Herber, enjoying himself in the Z4 and overtaking Daan Meijer in the Porsche. Daan has overdone it a little bit. I think he's losing a bit of grip on the rear tyres of the Porsche. Ferry Monster, basically following. Is it going to rain or not? Rain tyres are ready, some drops are falling, so it might be an advantage to come in to take rain tyres. Daan Meijer, he's not good in the rain. And Ferry Monster is, so he takes advantage. Daan Meijer comes in for rain tyres. In hindsight, not a good choice because it was a very short rain shower. So he's out on rain tyres while everybody else stayed out on slicks. Hoevenaars driving in one of the cars that John van der Voort drove last year, and he's doing very well, defending his line to Luc de Kock and Bob Herber. That means Peter van Zoelen can open up a gap. Bob Herber overtaking the 211 of Luc de Kock, and that's exceptional actually, because Bob Herber is not a guy you would like to have in the rain, but he seems to have improved a lot. He feels very good in the BMW. And then a classic novice mistake. He blocks himself out of contention, Peter Hoevenaars. And that means that Bob Herber goes to 2nd place. Behind Peter van Zoelen. What a great battle of BMWs in this class. Whoa, Bob Herber with no grip at all. Loses 2nd place, ends up in the gravel trap. Will finish the race, however, but out of contention. So, after the pit stops, it's Koen Bogaerts in the BMW leading. Luc de Kock overtaking him for the lead, and there's Peter Hoevenaars as well. After pit stops, he was back in 3rd place, now challenging for 2nd. The team of Luc de Kock bringing him in. Something's wrong there. We have a gearbox problem. So he was stuck in 5th gear, so there's nothing we can do. Too bad. Too bad indeed. In front of the home crowd. Erik van der Munkhoff leading in Sports 1. John van der Voort in 2nd place in the BMW. Leading was Guillaume Schultz, but he has to come in for a drive-through penalty. Does his team principal Wim van der Kooi. There's a drive-through, and he's now in 3rd place. In 1st place in Sports 2 is Nico Bain, one of the first competitors in the Supercar Challenge. He's also entering his 12th year. So a great victory for Koen Bogaerts and Peter van Zoelen.
Klein gelukje met Luc dat hij uitviel.
Yeah, Koen Bogaerts says we had a bit of luck that Luc de Kock didn't finish. It was the first race in the car, so I had to get used to the car. But then I saw Peter Hoevenaars behind me and I thought, well, it's now or never, I have to do it. Great.
Super.
So Koen Bogaerts and Peter van Zoelen take the first victory. Peter Hoevenaars in 2nd place, 17 years old. And Ferry and Robin Monster in 3rd. There's Erik van der Munkhoff, John van der Voort in 2nd place. And Guillaume Schultz in 3rd.
Zo blij weer. Eerste race, eerste keer...
I'm so happy. It's the first time of the season, pole position and winning the race. So it couldn't be better. Dream come true. I'm happy. Erik van der Munkhoff, John van der Voort in 2nd place, Guillaume Schultz in 3rd. And of course, Sports 2, Nico Bain.
Ja, ik moet zeggen, we hadden
I have to say, everything was all right. Car was great. Result is number 1, so I'm very happy. So, Nico Bain takes the first one. Rob Niemann in second place and Frank Peterhoff and Mario Kars in third. After the break, we'll be back with Sunday's race in the Super GT and GT class. This program is brought to you by Dunlop Tires, Autosportinsurance.com and Praga New Generation.